What's up, y'all? It's your boy RonP. Appreciate y'all tuning into the channel. So today I have an interview with two lovely ladies by the name of Lexi and Abby, and they are from the Overstimulated Mamas podcast. So we are going to talk to them via Skype, get some insight on who they are, what they doing. Make sure before this video just gets started, just make sure y'all go hit that subscribe button, please, and hit that notification bell so y'all will be updated when I put out videos like this. Let me know who y'all want to see on the podcast next. All right, so I'm gonna try to get these ladies on the phone right now, or not phone, but Skype, whatever the case may be. Hey, there we go. How goes it?
I'm great. Just kidding.
Now, for my viewers who watching this right now, whatever, they look cool and collected and stuff like this, but they both nervous. Am I wrong?
No, I am. No. Listen, my anxiety is on 10. I literally threw water in my cup and forgot my straw, so I don't even have a straw to drink out of my water right now.
That's a new kind of nervous anxiety going on.
No, I told you earlier. This is not it for me.
But you're here at the show, so we glad that you are in attendance and you're gonna do fine. So for the people who don't know, y'all, I'm gonna let y'all introduce yourselves. So who are y'all?
I'm Lexi.
And you are?
That's it? Oh, I thought you were gonna do a full little introduction. I'm Abby.
Where's your introduction?
Well, I mean, she went all short and
she was modest, but this is where you turn up. This is where you show out.
Okay, so I'm Abby, and I am a mom of 4 feral kids. I am a full-time mom, and I am at the football field 6 nights out of the week.
She really is.
No, seriously, my kids' schedule, I'm just their chauffeur. I'm just their Uber. They get in for free. They trash my car for free. I take it to the car wash on Sundays to, get everything out of it and restart for the whole week. When I'm not slinging mail during the day, I'm slinging kids to the football field at night. So
mom life. That's mom life. No, I say she really is, because on your Snapchat, you always at a game.
Always.
That's what's up. I know the
Tuesdays
struggle.
literally have me in the biggest chokehold because I have to be in 3 places at the same time.
Nice. Wish you was an octopus, huh?
No, seriously, I'm dropping one kid off. I'm beeping at the coach to say, hey, this kid's tumbling out the car. I'm going to continue to drive as he's rolling down the side of the hill, and I'm taking off to the next practice, pulling up, pushing the kid out the door and running to go pick the other kid back up. And it's just oh, there's Abby. I'm 7 kids.
Your breakdown on what you do just made me exhausted. I almost had to exhale for you.
That's only one day.
Hey, and it's 7 days in a week.
Yeah, that's only one day.
Lexi, what about you? What do your day-to-day consist of? What's your mom life?
Okay, so I am a mom also to 4 feral kids who are now all in school, and I'm a soccer mom. I'm not a football mom till next year, because he's decided he's playing football next year. We're a soccer mom this year.
See, the soccer moms really exist. Y'all got minivans?
It's my husband's minivan, but yeah.
Whoa. I just had this conversation today. Someone's gonna have to stay, because I'm not and will not ever be a minivan mom.
What's wrong with the minivan?
Everything. Listen, one of them's gotta stay, or y'all just can't come, because I don't do minivans. Right now, I have an Escalade.
Oh, okay. I get it. You ain't even got it. I get it.
She's the bougie version of a soccer mom.
Are you still trying to hold on to that young youth and being cool?
No, that's not even it. I am just not fit to be a minivan mom. Like, I'm not pushing buttons to open up a door and bye, sweetie, have a nice day. No, here's your take it, get the out, and like keep it
Okay.
pushing because I ain't got time for this.
That's what's up. See, I'm glad you said that because, you know, like that's being a realist. Like really, like if you're a parent, you know that it's not all here's your lunch bags, have a good day, blowing kisses. Sometimes you have to kick them out the car while you're riding. I got 4 of them. I know. I just sent my oldest to college, and then I have a 5-year-old that's the youngest. So I'm super hands on. That's why I really wanted to talk to y'all because I'm the dad that's the mom, if that makes sense. Like
You
I'm.
just lost me there. Hold on, can we back up for like 2 seconds?
Hmm.
Yes, one of those.
Okay.
So you got a college and a 5-year-old. Like, were you just trying to like what are we doing?
So I have 4. I have 2 boys, 2 girls. Okay. I have a 5-year-old, a 9-year-old, 16-year-old, and a 19-year-old. So yeah, I
You
played a.
got some age gaps in there.
Yeah, I know. But the craziest thing is my 19-year-old son and my 9-year-old son, they are so close. Like I
I
was
bet.
I was worried that because the age difference they wouldn't really connect, but they are like this. So I got lucky. And plus I try to
That's
keep
awesome.
everybody tight knit as well. Like when my daughter started her
Yeah.
period, she told me first. Like I'm that
Oh,
dad.
okay.
Yeah, like
You're that dad.
I'm that dad who learned about pregnancy and Braxton Hicks contractions and false contractions and what to do. Like I'm that person. So that's why I really wanted
So
to
you're
talk to y'all because it's rare that a man can have these conversations with a woman and people like understand it. Like I try to talk to my homeboys about it, they be like, "Nigga, you gay," but so so it's good to talk to y'all. And for y'all who don't know, they have a podcast, and we're gonna talk about that. Overstimulated Mamas. That sounds very interesting. Now, before we get started in that, whose idea was it to start this podcast?
it was
That was all
mine.
Abby.
Okay, so Abby, what made you want to start a podcast called Overstimulated Mamas? And if you can, break down what that mean for our viewers.
Okay, so I have been wanting to do a podcast for the last, I want to say 3 years. Like last year, I really took a deep dive into wanting to do it, but like I was too nervous to like really put myself out there because to be on a podcast, like, you have to be like your true authentic self. Like you have to like really connect with your people out there and your tribe and your listeners. And for me, it was really hard because I am the most private but public person you'll ever meet. Like, and I don't even know if that even makes sense to you, but I've just been through so much as a mom. Like I became a mom at 16. So like I've grown into a mom from a child standpoint into like a full mother, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
And I just wanted to like get my story out there, get other mom stories out there and like let them know because society paints a picture that it is always the rainbows and the butterflies and the I love yous and the have a good day, sweetheart, and having your life put together. And
Right.
I am the mom that has my life unput together in the most put together way you could like possibly think of. Like I so I just felt like starting this podcast I could really open up the eyes of moms, especially like the influencers that you see on TikTok that like have the cleanest house, the cleanest kids, the cleanest well put together selves, and I am like not that, if that makes sense.
But that's so perfect that you're doing that because again, I think the internet, social media, TikTok even it lacks reality. Like it's just
Hmm.
all just
Yeah.
like this. The internet is a place you can go and be whoever you think you want to be. It's not real.
Hmm.
These 30-second
Yep.
clips that we see of these nice houses and things look so glamorous, behind every camera there's a domestic violence situation going on. There's a, you know, child neglect going on. There's so many, so it's good. So somebody that's not a mom can look at someone like you and just get the reality, like, this is what parenthood is like, really. Like, I don't even know your situation all the way, but I guarantee you we're at some point going to be able to identify something within each other because we're both parents. So I'm glad you decided to do that. Now, how did Lexi get brought into this? How did you get reeled into that?
So I actually started this podcast with somebody else. It was something I wanted to do by myself, but I had a friend like want to join with me, and I don't think this person really understood like the goals and the ambition that I was going to have for this. Like, it wasn't, let's take a break this week, like, let's not record this week, because like I wanted something like consistent. And I think the raw reality of being a mom and then adding other things on top of it, I felt was too much. And I had Lexi on a couple times as a guest, and she's my best friend. So I just told her, like, listen, life is falling apart. You're my new co-host, and you're just going to buckle up and take this ride with me.
So Lex, when she told you what she wanted to do, what was your initial reaction to it?
I mean, I don't really know, because it's Abby. And so whatever Abby says, we just kind of go with it. Like, she could be like, we're going skydiving, and I'll be like, let's go, even though I'm deathly afraid of heights. So being on the show a couple times as a guest, I was like, man, this is fun. Like, maybe this is something I want to do for myself. And when she was like, well, you're my new co-host, I was like, bet, like, we'll do this. And we have religiously every week, like, put the kids to bed and it's time to record.
So was and this question is for both of y'all, was there any form of anxiety? Because when you're doing a podcast, this is when you out yourself. This is when you're vulnerable and you put yourself out there for people to hopefully give good criticism, but there's going to be negative criticism. There's going to be bad criticism there, so was there any anxiety starting this for both of y'all?
I mean, if you want to like reel in our conversation we had on the phone about 3 hours ago when I told you, like, sir, I'm not like a scripted podcast on my own. We just kind of like go in and buckle up. Mm-hmm. And the amount of anxiety that I've already had, and I told Lexi like 15, 20 minutes ago, I was like, okay, we're just going to cancel. My anxiety's through the roof. I don't even have a straw. I can't do this. And I couldn't even I couldn't even find my hairbrush tonight, okay, to get my life together. So the amount of anxiety
that's what we need. You know what? That's what we need. The raw, uncut mom on here. So, but just in general, even this episode, but not even this episode, I mean like just your normal episodes, just audio.
Every week.
It's always an anxiety for you?
Like, I tell her, like, I'll listen to it probably 15 times before I go to bed and just make sure it sounds good. And then when it first releases, I get like, my heart falls out of my ass every morning when my phone appears, that like on Apple Podcasts where it'll be like Overstimulated Mamas, and then it'll say like the new episode. My heart falls out of my ass. And I'm like, are people listening? Are they going to like this episode? Like, and I'll text her like 100 times, like, do we sound okay? Does this sound okay? Like, do you think people are actually going to listen? Do you think they like this episode?
So Lex, are you the one, just the more calm one, it's going to be okay one? Or?
Oh no, I definitely have anxiety when it comes to this, but I would say that, like, I don't know, I don't show my anxiety as much as she does. Inside, I'm freaking out. But I'll be like, no, we got this. Like, it's okay. We don't got nothing to worry about. But inside, I'm like, shit, I don't know if we do or not. Well, we're going to find out.
I'm going to tell you like this. Just some advice for y'all when y'all get ready to film. Just always remember the easiest job on earth is being yourself. It's nothing that you have to prep for. It's nothing that you have to pump yourself up for and be like, all right, Lex, all right, Abby, I could do this. No, it's just be you. It's the easiest thing ever. and everything else will fall into place. I know it sounds cliche, but I used to have that as an artist. I'm a recording artist as well. So, you know, you work on your music, you put it out, and you just hope people listen to it, and you hope they don't bash it. But you got to close your eyes and shoot for the stars. You know, they say you can't pray and worry at the same time. So, you know, you just got to have that mentality. So
that one was deep.
Yeah,
That was deep right there.
If you write it down
That
if
was
you
like
want
the
to.
easiest, like, I mean, I can say though, like, so prior to this episode, because this one's a little different for me, it has gotten easier because it was back in February when I started, and like I like once or twice every other week, I will go back to my very first episode that was aired and listen to how I sounded then versus like how I sounded now. And I can definitely hear, like, you can tell when I got comfortable within the podcast. Like, I wasn't so, it sounded like I was reading from a script, because I never really was. Like, if there was like very, very certain topics that like we were discussing, like facts and stuff like that, I was reading, like, you know, to like back up what I was saying. But like, if you go and listen to like where I'm at now, I feel like Lexi has just a little bit more to come to get into where I know she's like fully 100% comfortable. I can hear the change, if that makes sense.
All right, is that what you look for as well, Lex? Like you listen to progress and like your previous ones to now? Like, do you like critique yourself when you listen to these episodes and like, okay, I need to work on this, or like, how do you do that?
Oh, absolutely. Like, I always, on release day, I will always listen to our podcast, and then I'll go back and I'll listen to like other ones. And I definitely feel like I took a step in the right direction with our the last one we recorded, because that was big for us. That definitely was like a therapy session 101. So, yeah. But I think I'm getting there.
You know what? And right now with Overstimulated Mamas, right now y'all just doing audio podcast, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Do y'all plan on doing video podcast?
So I've been trying, but I'm gonna be real and honest for a minute. Some days, there's days where we're sitting on our bathroom floor to record. We're sitting in our car to record. Because the raw reality of motherhood and trying to record a podcast, like when all the kids are at school, like I work full time. Like I'm either at the football field or I'm out on the streets throwing mail in mailboxes. Like, and so trying to find the core to actually be able to record, sometimes it's, you know, we're hiding in our closets trying to, you know, get this podcast out. But I have been working on trying to find a system that does let me do video and audio. Like I do pay for like certain things that I'm like able to record on, and just trying to figure out what works best for us right now is just trying to figure out like the software, because I don't know nothing about a computer.
All right, I'm gonna drop a little game on you. Skype. That's it. You got audio and video right now. Skype. And Skype also allows you to record the screen. So you could take this audio.
But it does audio too, and like I can throw it in GarageBand and
100%. So yeah,
because it's just Skype, girl. Just get with the program. Like I'm over here.
And that's funny because Skype is like 15 years old now. 17 years old, something like that. So, but yeah, and the reason why I say that is because listening to audio is one thing, watching is another. And I say that because what y'all are doing, sometimes, you know what, don't even put the kids to bed. We all have been on the phone with somebody of importance, and you got your kid hanging on your shoulders. They wait until you get on the phone to start asking for stuff.
Oh, they do.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, so you know, and I think sometimes, I mean, it's not a perfect world, and I think that like what y'all doing is like I want people to see that. I want people to actually see like, oh, I could relate. And it's not even about, oh, they keep interrupting me, because anybody watching it that's a parent, they're gonna be like, I feel her pain, and it's gonna make them gravitate more to you because they're seeing the reality. It's like the TikTok people. Sometimes we can't relate to them because our lives don't look like that. But when you find
Right.
somebody that got a kid that all of a sudden asks for the banana, but then she decides to smush it in the floor, we can all relate to that.
Yeah.
So I think that y'all should really start doing audio and video, so sometimes people can just see, the reality.
Well, I'm gonna definitely figure out this Skype thing, and maybe this will be something. Do you have to like pay for like a subscription or something? Because what?
I don't.
I literally pay for like 3 subscriptions to be able to use like the softwares that I use to put my.
I pay for absolutely zero, nothing at all, nothing. So just throwing that out there.
We're doing something wrong.
Because I pay for one that pushes my podcast out to like, I don't have to go in and like manually update it to like all the different servers, because we're on Apple, Spotify, Pandora, like all of that. I just go on one website and upload it, and it pushes it out to everybody.
Yep, that's what Anchor/Spotify is. Every time I upload a podcast, I just upload it and it disperse it to all these other platforms. So I'm gonna get you together. I'm gonna get you off camera. I'm gonna get you together because y'all working too hard.
Listen, sometimes, you go with the flow. Like, I'm on Google all the time. I literally just sent her another one today, and she's like, are we using this? I'm like, I don't know. Someone told me to try it out, so I'm gonna look into it later. But later's not today because.
Well, one thing about RonP, like I also do tutorials as well. I go through the dirt so you don't have to. Anything that I learn, I'm always quick to try to teach somebody else because nobody taught me. So anytime I learn something, I'm gonna make a tutorial. Thank you. You just inspired my next tutorial. So.
All right. Look at that.
All right,
please,
Lex,
so we can figure out how to do this.
Lex, let me ask you this. So you have 4, right?
Yes.
Tell me about the first time you looked at that pregnancy test and realized you was pregnant and you was having your first baby. Like what went through your mind?
Okay, so I was 15.
Mm-hmm.
And so I can remember this like it was yesterday. I was leaving to go to the store with my dad, and I had my best friend over, and she thought she was pregnant. And so she was like, let's take pregnancy tests together. So I was like, bet, like I don't have anything to worry about. And so we both took our pregnancy tests. Hers was negative. Mine was not.
Being a rascal.
And so I remember not wanting to tell my mom, and so I was leaving to go to the store with my dad, so I literally handed her the pregnancy test and ran out the door with my dad. And that was it.
So what was that conversation like when y'all did have it?
It was not the greatest. There was definitely a lot of tears because I didn't know what I was doing. And I was not prepared to have a baby, but I'm out here running the streets thinking I'm, hot shit, with no consequences.
So was it a lack of education about like pregnancy and getting pregnant, or you knew what you was doing? You just was like, it is what it is.
I want to say it more was like, it is what it is.
So,
yeah.
So, and I asked that question to a lot of people, when you realize you're about to become a parent and everything, like now let's fast forward. Your daughter come to you. Let's say she's 14, 15. She's pregnant. What's your initial reaction to that?
Oh, I'm beating her ass.
See, that's what I'm saying. So, but that's what I'm saying. Like your karma always gonna come back around. So.
Yeah. Well, let's hope it's not with her because I literally will fight her. I will fight her.
But and
I've told her that. The
reality nowadays for most people to wait to get pregnant, like it's sad to say, but 15 isn't uncommon nowadays. It's really not. Like that's like, oh, that's why when you said you was 15, listen, I was just like, oh.
We're not gonna go there. We're not gonna make it common, okay?
No, I mean I don't want it to be common because, like I said, my daughter's 16, so so I definitely don't want it to be common. But the reality, it's starting to become common. I mean, you got grandparents at 35. So it's just like you got to prepare yourself for when you get in those kind of situations. Abby, what is your like? How would you handle it? Your daughter come to you. She's 15.
I would cry.
Cry?
I would cry. I would cry because the struggles that I went through as a person who found out at 15, I was 15 turning 16 when I had my son, and I would cry because the struggles I went through, like, I never want her or my sons to go through the trenches, the damn trying to figure out how the hell I'm gonna do life. I don't want that for them. Like, I'm definitely more open with my kids than my parents were, because I don't recall getting the sex talk with my mom.
And that's good. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I was just saying, like, that's good because I think that society expect you to give this school educated sex talk, and I feel like it's good to be real with your kids and open and like the reality of these conversations, because if a kid isn't educated and you just tell them don't do it, they're gonna do it. It's a curiosity thing. So it's good to like me and my son, my oldest son, we had a conversation about selling drugs. Now, I've never told him don't do it. I told him what comes with doing it. I highlighted the money. I highlighted the cars, the jewelry, and being able to buy what you want. Then I also highlighted you're going to jail. Somebody's going to try to rob you and kill you and da-da-da-da. So he got the full in-depth conversation of it. And knock on wood, like, he still has it. He went to college. He's a good kid. Don't drink, don't smoke. But I think that when people lack to educate their kids in the most rawest way, it leaves room for them to wonder and be curious. And she just said, don't do it. So I want to experience it, So yeah, it's good that you break it down to them like that.
Yeah, I would cry. Like, I still sometimes sit back and be like, I wish I could go back and hug my 16-year-old self, because at the end of the day, I didn't have anyone to hug me and tell me, like, in all reality, it's going to be okay one day. Like, I peed on a stick, went to the doctors, had my first ultrasound, and found out I was having a boy, and I was already 6.5 months pregnant. So,
fast action.
I had to stop taking birth control that day that I went, like, I found out I was pregnant. A week later, like, we won't even get into my mom, because that was a whole show. I thought she was going to leave me in the middle of a cornfield that day. And
not the cornfield.
No, because okay, so, like, I used to live back in Michigan, like where you guys live. And I don't know if you know where, like, Bad Axe is from A City, but, like, you got to go through, like, nothing but cornfields, you know?
Yeah.
And we were halfway back into Bay City, and I looked at my mom and I was like, I wish I would have gotten the shot pill, because I was on the pill. And she literally looked at me and she was like, it's about time you told me you're pregnant. And my mouth hit the floor. And I'm like, I just found out. Like, what are you talking about? And she's like, I've known for months. And I'm like, what? And she literally stopped the car. She's like, so what are we going to do? Are you going to abort this baby, keep this baby, raise this baby, or are you going to get out and start walking home? And she literally was about to leave me in a cornfield.
Damn. Hey, all right, so let me ask y'all that. Speaking of this, I want both of y'all opinions on this, because I've had probably more than, that's weird that I'm a guy and I be having these conversations with people, but, like, abortion. What is y'all take on abortion?
Do you want my honest opinion, or do you want my we're speaking to the public and I need to be nice? Because
no, well, here on RonPTv, we are real, okay? We are real, and you have to be real.
I am this is a fun one. So I am a firm believer in this is my body, my choice.
Mm-hmm.
But I also stand firmly on abortion should not be your birth control. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if you're out here laying down having sex, like, you know the consequences. Now, if you are, I don't know if I can say this word, but it's the R word.
Oh,
Um,
we'll censor it, but
Yeah.
yeah, we know.
yeah. So if you are blank, I feel 110% like you should go ahead and go do that, because like we're not, I don't condone that, like, you know.
Right.
And if there's like a medical reason, of course, like, but if you're just out here using abortion for birth control, you are the problem. And just get yourself fixed. If you don't want kids, like, there's always a, like, you can always put the baby up for adoption. Like, it's always so easy to, oh, just go get an abortion. Like, why don't you keep the baby and give it up for adoption? Like, you want to lay down with the big dog, but you don't want to be a big dog. You have no business. You have no, like.
You know what I heard? I
Yeah.
saw somebody say something like, the reason why people would rather do abortion than adoption, because that baby being alive and being able to see that baby is a reminder of your failure. Somebody was saying like they don't want to constantly be reminded of, this is something I had and couldn't take care of it, and it's easier to dispose. I hate to sound like that, but like dispose of the responsibility.
Well, then let's dispose yourself.
Yeah, that's sick.
Yeah, a lot
I
of
didn't mean
people
to cut
think
you
like
out
that.
there. I'm sorry. Like,
Oh,
this
no.
conversation just gets my gears just going. And I mean, there's a reason I have 4 kids. Like, I wanted to lay down and play with the big dogs and not, you know, like, I chose this life. And if not, like, there's always other, but you're not just going to be out. This is the whole reason why men stepped in
Mhm.
and took over the Roe, whatever the hell wave shit is going on. And now we don't, like, you just.
So my issue with people is, I don't like when I saw like it was like a protest rally or something like that about abortion and adoption, and the lady was like, oh no, I'm lying. I was watching what's that? CSI? No, CSI 911, one of them shows. All right, and the lady was like, it's my body. I'm giving my baby up for adoption. And people was yelling at her, and it's like, that's not right. That's your baby, and da, da, da. And I was like, people always want to be a part of the problem, but never the solution. So I feel like, if a woman says, I'm giving my baby up for adoption, and people tell her don't, then if that woman says, okay, well, will you take my baby? Chances are they're going to say no. So it's like, don't complain about what other people doing with their body if you're not going to be there to, help with the problem, instead of just bashing, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? So I don't
Yeah.
know. Do y'all think that fathers in the house play a big part? Like, can a woman raise men? Like, do it have to still be a 2-parent household?
What do you mean? Like, can women raise men?
Yeah, like if you was a single mom and you have boys, like, can you raise them to be men? Like, is the father necessary anymore?
I mean, I feel like women can raise their children like I can raise my son to treat women how I want to be treated.
Okay.
So I feel like we absolutely can, because men are there to set a good example, yeah, but at the same time, we can do bad all on our own.
Right.
Okay.
Because some people argue that this is necessary. It has to be, a woman can't raise a man, and it has to be a 2-parent household. And if I'm not mistaken, I think I read something a while ago about the success rate is higher with a 2-parent household for your child. So I'm not saying that it's accurate. I'm just saying, like, these is the statistics, what people say, so I just wanted y'all's opinion on that.
Okay, so can men raise women?
I mean, I'm gonna just speak from my perspective and my personal opinion.
I feel like you don't count.
No,
you are Mr. Mom. You don't count.
Yeah, I think, but the thing is, like, I can educate myself on how a woman think. Like, the majority of my friends is female because it's just something about me gravitate to women. I'm very sensitive. You know what I'm saying? I identify with what women go through. So I think that as sensitive as I am, as much as I know about women, and I could teach my daughter how to be a lady. Sit down, cross your legs. You don't bend over. You squat. You know, so to pick up things. So like I can do all of that, but it's still something I feel like I would lack is like to teach her how to be a woman. I could give her the idea of how to be a good woman. I could teach her to be the woman like that I would want to have, but I still feel like I would lack somewhere where there would be like a disconnect where it's just not, it's something missing. You know, so I'm not saying that you need a two-parent household. I'm just saying that I feel like it would be like just something small missing to like, you know what I mean? I don't know. So
No, because I totally get what you're saying, and I only ask that because I feel like whether you're a single mom, a single dad, a two-parent household, I feel like no matter what, you could have the most successful, healthy, positive relationship with your significant other and in your parenting, but you're always going to lack something. Like you're never going to be the perfect mom, the perfect dad. I don't care. I will fight you till I'm blue in the face. Like you're always going to lack something, whether you're with a partner, without a partner, doing it solo. You could be a single married parent. Like,
right.
so I feel like that question just kind of like, it's just one of those questions it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, you're always going to lack something. So no matter if I truly believe that I would raise the best men that I could possibly. I would 110% confidently say that your daughters would be treated with the utmost respect, whether it's just me doing it alone or me and my husband doing it. Because at the end of the day, like, these boys are going to be the best husbands your daughters could ask for when they're older.
So let's talk more reality with kids or whatever. See, I got the mamas on here. Y'all tune in. Y'all make sure y'all hit that description link, and their information will be right there. Y'all go follow the mamas. Y'all follow the Overstimulated Mamas. But so my question is, let's talk. How do you deal with your kid starting to rebel? He's a teenager. He's acting up. He come home. He got a tattoo. You know, like how do you deal with the teenager that's starting to act out?
I just take everything from mine. Like, we're already third week into school, and he already doesn't have his phone anymore. He doesn't have his Chromebook. Like, I'm not dealing with it. Like, he just lost the TV last night, and
But let me ask you.
it to your room.
But let me ask you: is it effective? Do you feel like it's effective, or do you feel like it's a temporary standstill, and then we're back to square one?
I think it kind of goes both ways. When I start busting out the sentences and they start writing sentences, that's when I've hit my last straw. But I can't tell you that my kids haven't had to write sentences in a while. Like, when you're writing sentences, it's game over. And like, they know that's, you know, like.
So what's Lexi? What's your punishment for the kids? How do you handle that rebellious teen?
We don't. I have a rebellious teen. She's not a boy.
Okay.
But she's rebellious. Okay, she's rebellious. And I don't know. Honestly, like, I take it day by day, and it's tough. It's tough. Like, I've tried taking everything. I've tried, you know, grounding her, taking her away from her friends, and it just does nothing for her emotional health. So we're trying to talk our way through everything.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of it being you're getting punished for this, it's, why do you feel like you need to do this? How can I help you change the way that you're acting to make you a better person?
And it's good because I want people to hear this, because I mean, obviously every teenager is different, so you have to deal with that teenager accordingly to, you know, how they are or whatever. But it's so many mothers out here because like I said, life don't have no instruction manual. it's just
No,
live and
no.
it's live and
We
learn.
just talked about this.
Yeah, so life don't have, so it's so many young mothers who just need guidance and not knowing, and that's when they start feeling like they're failing because, like I said, there's no instruction manual and they don't know what to do. And like I said, mothers is getting younger and younger every day. I actually know this girl had a baby at 13. So they look to, like, let me see what he's doing or she's doing, and so yeah, I just wanted y'all input on that. So